In the last couple of years, we've seen several guns come to market in a little bit of an unknown cartridge, or I don't know if unknown is the right term. How about uncommon cartridge in the 5.7x28mm round? And this is commonly known as the cartridge designed for the P90. The FN57 pistol is also chambered in this cartridge. But the question that I get most often whenever I mention 5.7 is why? Why would we use 5.7 over other things that are available on the market? And that's what we're going to be looking at here in today's video. To do that, we're going to be using these. These are brand spanking new. These are CMMG's new magazines for 5.7, and what this allows you to do is if you don't like the ergonomics of the P90, then you have the option to now use your AR to shoot 5.7. I've designed a battery of tests to try out the new magazines and the 5.7 cartridge, and when we're talking about the cartridge itself, many people put it in a box right between 22 long rifle and 5.56, and that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to discount 22 long rifle because otherwise this video would be like 25 minutes long, and we all know what attention spans are these days. The reason I feel that we can discount 22 for today's testing is that regardless of your feelings on the matter or if you use it for this purpose or not, 22 long rifle is not a combat cartridge. It is not a defensive cartridge. It simply does not rise to the standards of today's defensive cartridge market in several ways. Specifically, it is a rimfire cartridge. Rimfire technology is outdated. There's a reason we've gone to centerfire cartridges, and that's predominantly because of reliability. We've all had bad 22 ammo. Son of a bitch. Because they are mass produced quickly and efficiently so that they can be shot once and discarded. A 5.7x28 round, by contrast, is a centerfire cartridge, and therefore it reaches that reliability status. It is not a rimmed cartridge, which has its own set of issues when you talk about stacking in magazines and reliability of magazines. And then also, as far as the projectile and propellants are concerned, a 22 long rifle is found wanting until you get up into the premium grades of ammunition in all those categories. If you look at a 5.7 cartridge, this one specifically is an FN round. The projectile, in fact, is a Hornady VMAX, and you can see that that is most certainly not the bottom barrel plated bullet that we tend to see associated with 22 long rifle. So in my mind, the efficacy of having something like the CMMG 5.7 magazine laying around is granting the end user more latitude in the configuration of their firearm. And to explain, let's do a thought experiment for a second. Let's say that you have a registered short barrel lower. You only have one because you don't want to do a whole bunch of extra taxes. Nobody likes paying extra taxes, right? I do suggest, by the way, that every American citizen have one registered short barrel rifle if they are legal in your locale for legal installation purposes. I'm not a lawyer, but that's a discussion for another day. But say that you have your one registered short barrel lower. That allows you latitude to push pins and shoot a whole bunch of different calibers through that one lower without running afoul of the NFA or having to contend with a silly pistol brace on the back. To push that a little bit further, say you have an item that is highly coveted, like a legal machine gun. Woo! So 5.7 has a reputation for being a screamer, and the thing about it is you can see that this is a relatively short barrel. The shortest 5.56 barrel I have is the 10.3 inch Hansen profile barrel on the machine gun. What's interesting is that the cartridge was really designed to shoot out of a short barrel. CMMG, I think, offers two different lengths. This is a 5, and I think they offer an 8 as well, but we're only getting like an extra 150 feet per second out of the 8-inch barrel compared to the 5-inch barrel. So ultimately, what that means is you can see that the guns shrink quite a bit. And what we're going to do is see how much we lose when we go to 5.7 versus a short barreled 5.56. The other thing that is interesting about 5.7 over 5.56 is suppressors. We can see that we have two different classes of suppressors here. This is actually the Energetic Arms Vox. This is a 30 caliber can, but it's a relatively small 30 caliber can, and this is the same can from Energetic Arms that I would use on 5.56. Over here we have the Bowers USS. You can use predominantly rimfire cans on 5.7, whereas you cannot do that on 5.56. They are not rated usually for 5.56. And 5.56, especially in a short barrel configuration like this over here, is very, very challenging on cans. That's one of the reasons we use it for what we use it for. 5.56 unsuppressed. .57 unsuppressed. Vox on the 5.56. Here we go. USS. .30 cal on 5.7. All right. Now, we're only going to do this once because, well, we may only get once, but this is not rated for this at all. Sorry. I love you, USS. Against my better judgment. All right, we're going to call it there. If we didn't get it, if we didn't get the flash from those two, then we're not going to get it at all. But as you guys can see, 5.7 less flash. Can I just point out for a second that the Bowers USS is freaking amazing? Can we just say that for a second? This is, again, not rated for a single round of 5.56. This is a 22 suppressor that just took 2 rounds of full powered 5.56 in a short barreled rifle. So guys, kudos to the Bowers USS, again, claiming my spot as my recommended 22 can. 5.7 versus 5.56, what are the major take-homes? Well, the guns themselves are shorter and lighter. The ammunition is more compact and lighter. The suppressors are smaller and lighter. There's less reciprocating mass in the operating system, so there's less recoil to contend with. And if the guns are set up properly, there's a lower flash signature when using 5.7 over 5.56. All of that in a package that's still able to contend with secondary and tertiary threats if you're concerned about some kitted up shitbag walking into your church or school. Oops. So the other thing that is really interesting about 5.7 is suppressors. And we can see here, I just made a mess. Oh my gosh, it is freezing.